Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about tips and tricks for those who are new to still life drawing. This might even help some who have drawn still lifes before. I'm going to show you the materials you'll need, tips on accurately setting up your composition, how to draw your image, shading and blending, adding highlights, and then adding those last minute touches. Before I show all this, I want to talk about what the definition of a still life is. Still life is a genre of painting or drawing. With that, it can be an arrangement of objects, typically including fruit and flowers, and objects contrasting with these in texture, such as bowls and glassware. You will need a range of artist pencils, which I will talk about shortly, a kneaded eraser, and a blender. Artist pencils usually come in packs with a variation that could be similar to this one. The higher the number of the H pencil, the lighter and harder the lead of the pencil is. The higher the number of the B pencil, the darker and softer the lead of that pencil is. Your higher B pencil should be used for the darkest areas of your still life. Here is my reference image. I found it easier to work from photographs when I began still life drawing. I found this one in a magazine. You want the objects in your photo to have the characteristics of the definition we talked about before. Since my image is small, I want to enlarge it when I start drawing my still life. I've created a box that is the larger version of the measurements of my photo. My photo is 2.5 by 3 inches, so I made my new box double that size, 5 by 6 inches. Now I'm going to grid out my image. This will help me to accurately map out all of the objects from the image into the box that I've made. With a pencil, I'm going to lightly create 2 equally spaced horizontal lines and 2 equally spaced vertical lines. This will leave me with 9 identical boxes. I also suggest doing this with a thin Sharpie on your reference image. It is very helpful. Let's just say that my lines are imaginary. Once I do this, I can then map everything out with my pencil. I can see that the front apple is in the bottom center box, the apple on the right is in the bottom right box, but it's also in the middle right box. Use the boxes to help map out your image. I am now going back with a dark 4B pencil to shade in my darkest areas of the image. The more pressure you use, the darker the marks will be. I change my pencils per the darkness and lightness of the leads so that it corresponds with the highlights and shadows in my reference image. When I'm shading my apples, I create marks that correspond to the curvature of the apple. This will help you to achieve dimension and help your viewers to believe that the apple is round. You can do this with other objects as well. Here's what I have so far. Now it's time to blend. I'm going to use my blender tool to compress the pigments of the lead so that the pencil marks appear more seamless. So here's what it looks like after blending. It's pretty smudgy and we lost a little bit of the darker shadows, so we'll have to go back and fix that. So I'm going back now with that 4B pencil and adding that darkness back into the areas where I had originally gave very dark values. I'm pulling apart my kneaded eraser to go back and add highlights. Look back at your reference image to find those bright white highlights in other areas where light is reflecting off of. Use your kneaded eraser to subtract any areas that have gotten a little too dark. Touch up areas that are too dark or too light. You can use your artist pencils or your kneaded eraser where you feel it is necessary. I erase the smudges from around my drawing and voila, our final product, a simple still life drawing with all basic steps. Here's what it looks like compared to the original image. If you are finding it too difficult to make a black and white version of a colored image, I suggest starting off with a black and white reference image. Here are some details. As you get more experienced, it might be fun for you to try working directly from life instead of using an image. Thanks for watching, and please be patient with yourself while you are drawing.